The movie world has been left gobsmacked by the third Avengers installment, and fans can't wait for the as-yet-untitled sequel. Unfortunately, that's not being released until 2019, which is frustrating to say the least, but at least we can talk about it and theorize what might happen in the meantime. We already know from set photos that it'll involve time travel, and it's been confirmed that Thanos will return, but what else might happen? In this video, we'll take a look. Here are Avengers 4 predictions after Infinity War, and of course, this video contains spoilers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
I was partners with Hank on a project called Goliath.
How big did you get?
My record, 21 feet. You?
65 feet.
65.
Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Wasp will be important. 3 characters were notably absent from Avengers Infinity War: Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. Hawkeye and Ant-Man were briefly discussed, with their absence explained by the fact that they wanted to be with their families after the events of Captain America: Civil War. But that's a little strange, as this year's Ant-Man and the Wasp movie is set between Civil War and Infinity War. Regardless, you have to imagine their absence was more important than it looks on the surface, because they're probably integral to the plot of Avengers 4. In order to change the timeline and erase what happened in Infinity War, without being in possession of the Infinity Gauntlet, the quantum realm may be the only option when it comes to traveling through time. There's a good chance that Ant-Man and the Wasp will have headed into said realm, along with a Clint Barton-shaped chaperone, in order to warn past versions of the Avengers about Thanos' plans. With that information, they'll be better prepared to deal with him.
But as always, victory is mine! Is that all you got?
Captain Marvel will be the MVP. Infinity War's one post-credits scene showed Nick Fury desperately attempting to contact Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, before he faded into non-existence. Evidently, the former director of S.H.I.E.L.D. figured that the powerful superheroine could assist with the catastrophe that had befallen Earth, and indeed the universe, at the hands of Thanos. With that in mind, it's pretty obvious that she's going to play an integral part in the sequel. Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige has already stated that Danvers will be the most powerful heroic character in the MCU by far, so the physical might she brings to the table could be the key to taking down Thanos permanently going forward.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
You've come to die.
Doctor Strange will be revealed to be alive. When Thanos snapped his fingers at the end of Infinity War, a lot of notable heroes disappeared into nothingness. Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Star-Lord were among them, but so was Doctor Strange. Strange had previously sifted through a number of possible futures and seen the only way to defeat the Mad Titan. By handing over the Time Stone, he set that plan in motion. With that in mind, Strange may actually be revealed to be alive in Avengers 4. He could have faked his own demise in order to go about his world-saving business undetected and uninterrupted. Perhaps he's the guy who sent Ant-Man and company on their mission to the quantum realm. In fact, given the Time Stone's abilities, he might already have gone back in time before Avengers Infinity War took place to warn them, hence their aforementioned absence, as they were already on their world-saving mission. It's certainly food for thought.
You could have the power of the gods! I have seen the future, Captain! There are no flags! Not my future!
Some surprise characters will appear. Avengers Infinity War had a lot of surprises, including the inclusion of some characters who weren't expected to appear. The Red Skull made his long-awaited return to the MCU, for instance, and cameos like the likes of General Ross were a pleasant surprise for fans. Avengers 4 is said to be even bigger and better than Infinity War, so the surprises are expected to be, well, more surprising as well. We could see a plethora of new characters appearing, so don't be surprised to see the MCU debuts of heroes like Nova, Quasar, Sentry, Ares, or Beta Ray Bill. The latter two whom we already know exist in the franchise thanks to the Grandmaster's Tower in 2017's Thor Ragnarok. We might also see the return of characters like Phil Coulson, Peggy Carter, and Quicksilver, because time travel makes anything possible.
Can't see into the future, I'm not a witch.
No? Why'd you dress like one?
Hey, I can't believe you're alive. I saw you die. I mourned you, I cried for you.
I'm honored.
Dead characters will return. This is less a prediction and more of a certainty, because you can be damn sure the characters who perished in Infinity War, or at least the majority of them, will be brought back to life in the sequel. For starters, we already know that Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians of the Galaxy will be getting sequels to their previous movies, so those guys have to come back. Gamora's death scene was intrinsically tied to an Infinity Stone, and we've already seen with Red Skull that deaths like that aren't always what they seem, so she could play a big part going forward as well. As for Vision, he could be fixable if he's provided with a new energy source. Loki and Heimdall, however, may be gone for good. We know we'll see Loki in time travel scenes, the Avengers might have to convince the past version to help them out, but going forward he might be permanently dead, because neither his nor Heimdall's death scenes were tied to the Infinity Stones in any major way.
The rest of us have one job. Tear these things apart. You get hurt, hurt them back. You get killed, walk it off.
Some characters will die permanently. We've lost some characters in Avengers Infinity War relatively safe in the knowledge that the majority of them will be resurrected. That won't be the case in Avengers 4, however. The stakes must be raised in the sequel, with any deaths or sacrifices that occur needing to be permanent in order to ensure an ultimate victory against Thanos. Some hard decisions will have to be made, and the likelihood is that it will be the last time we see at least a couple of the original Avengers, like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, or the Hulk. Given what we know about the Soul Stone, whoever uses the Infinity Gauntlet to undo Thanos' work might have to make a sacrifice to do so.
I hope they remember you.
Thanos will lose his head. The heroes of the MCU came so close to defeating Thanos, not once, but twice. First, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians of the Galaxy almost removed the Infinity Gauntlet from his hand before Star-Lord messed things up. Then, Thor managed to smash Stormbreaker straight through the Mad Titan's chest, but that wasn't enough. Thanos told Thor that he should have gone for the head, before clicking his fingers and wiping out 50% of life in the universe. And that could be foreshadowing the events of Avengers 4. It would be a fitting climax if Thor, or indeed anyone else, was to take the purple villain's head clean off, before saying something along the lines of, "Didn't forget to go for the head this time." It would be very un-Disney, for want of a better term, but there were some pretty brutal deaths in Infinity War, so it's certainly not out of the question.
The world has gotten even stranger than you already know.
At this point, I doubt anything would surprise me.
$10 says you're wrong.
The MCU's reality will be altered. There's been a lot of talk recently about Disney acquiring Fox, a deal that's set to be completed in 2019, which is very convenient indeed as far as this prediction is concerned. The deal would allow the likes of the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and Deadpool to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Explaining that could be difficult. However, the Infinity Gauntlet gives Marvel Studios a very easy way of making it happen. Now that we've seen what it's capable of, it could very easily be responsible for reality being changed to the point that those characters exist in the MCU, and we believe it might happen. Imagine, if you will, Doctor Strange uses the gauntlet to undo Thanos' actions in Infinity War. An Avengers 4 post-credits scene could see Tony Stark asking Strange if everything's back to normal. Strange could then reply by saying, "Pretty much, but controlling the Infinity Stones isn't easy, so there might be some minor changes." And the scene could cut to a bustling X-Mansion. How cool would that be?
If Thanos needs all 6, why don't we just stick this one down the garbage disposal?
No can do.
We swore an oath to protect the Time Stone with our lives.
And I swore off dairy, but then Ben & Jerry's named a flavor after me, so...
Start craving hazelnuts.
Not bad.
A bit chalky.
The Illuminati will be formed. One thing's for certain, when the heroes of the MCU claim their ultimate victory over Thanos, they won't want the Infinity Stones getting into the wrong hands again.
Best not to walk the streets wearing an Infinity Stone.
A what?
You might have a gift for the mystic arts, but you still have much to learn.
With that in mind, the Illuminati will be formed at the end of Avengers 4. In the Marvel Universe, the Illuminati work behind the scenes to anticipate and prevent cosmic tragedies, and their members have been known to keep each one of the Infinity Gems for safekeeping. The same could happen in the MCU with the Infinity Stones. Alternatively, the Infinity Watch could be established for the same reason.
Could destroy life on a scale hitherto undreamt of.
Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt of?
Are you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos?
Is that what it is? I'm going to allow that.
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? What are your predictions for the 4th Avengers movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos just like this one. Bye for now.